네, 여러분 안녕하세요. 오늘은 월요일이고요. Chapter 51부터 52의 내용을 같이 이야기를 하도록 하겠습니다. 오늘은 제가 개인적으로 일이 있어가지고 굉장히 다른 때에 비하면 늦게 라방을 켰는데요. 양해 부탁드리고요. 내일부터는 다시 이제 11시에 맞춰서 라방을 하도록 제가 주의를 하겠습니다. 지난번에 이어서 Chapter 51에서는 아직 블랙과 Master Osman이 보물창고 안에 있는 상황이고요. 거기서 Master Osman의 관점에서 Chapter 51이 시작됩니다. 사실 Chapter 51에서는 굉장히 큰 사건이 하나 일어납니다. 그리고 그 사건을 위해서 클라이막스로 우르한 파묵은 Master Osman이 그 보물고 안에 있는 여러 걸작들 그리고 그 걸작들을 그린 화가들의 일생 그리고 그것과 관련된 여러 물품들을 보면서 마스터 오스만이 자신이 생각하는 화가의 길 그리고 예술가의 진정한 길 이런 거에 대해서 독백을 할 수 있게 여러 번 기회를 주는데요. 그 중에 한 부분을 발췌해서 제가 읽어드리려고 합니다. This color red belongs to the great master Mirza Baba Imami from Tabriz, the secret of which he took with him to the grave. He used it for the edges of the carpet, the red of elegance on the Persian Shah's turban. And look, it's here on the belly of the lion on this page and on this pretty voice crafted. Allah never directly revealed this fine red except when he let the book's blood of his subjects flow. 이렇게 오란 파묵 작가는 우선 계속 그림들을 묘사합니다. 굉장히 자세하게 묘사를 하죠. 그리고 이런 거를 보면서 오스만 뭐라고 해야 될까요? 이 마스터 오스만은 뭔가를 깨닫게 됩니다. Like a lightning flash, it occurred to me how appropriate it'd be if to these hands all my miniaturists and I were put to torture. Using the point of my penknife, I ruthlessly scraped away the eyes beneath my hand in the picture that lay open before me. It was the account of the Persian scholar who learned chess simply by looking at a chess set brought by the ambassador from Hindustan before defeating the Hindu master at his own game. A Persian lie. One by one I scraped away the eyes of the chess players and of the Shah and his men who were watching them. Flipping back through the pages, I also pitilessly gouged out the eyes of the Shahs who battled mercilessly, of the soldiers of imposing armies bedecked in magnificent armor, and of severed heads lying on the ground. After doing the same to 3 pages, I slid my penknife back in my sage. My hands trembled, but I didn't feel so bad. Did I now feel that so many lunatics felt after committing this strange act, whose results I encountered frequently during my 50-year tenure as a painter? I wanted nothing more than blood to flow onto the pages of this book from the eyes I had blinded. 화가로서는 결국 눈이라는 건 굉장히 필수적인 요소이잖아요. 그렇지만 이슬람교에서는 걸작을 만든 대가일수록 눈이 먼다 이러한 의식이 있었습니다. 인식이 있었습니다. 그리고 이런 거에 대해서 오스만은 점점 더 광적인 태도를 보이는데요. 화가로서 서양화를 배척하면서도 오히려 자신이 지금까지 가지고 있었던 자신이 계속 추구해왔던 그 이슬람의 길에 대한 욕망을 잘 보여주는 것 같습니다. 그리고 마지막에 결국 그는 극단적인 선택까지 하게 되는데요. 이제 그 극단적인 선택은 아니고요. 한번 읽어드리겠습니다. I caught sight of it while I was passing in the next room. I stood and looked. Yes, there it was. An ivory mirror with a twisted handle and thick ebony frame. Its length nicely embellished with script. I sat down again and gazed at my own eyes. How beautifully the flame of the candle danced in my pupils, which had witnessed my hand paint for 60 years. How had Master Bizat done it? I asked myself once more. Never once taking my eyes off the mirror, with the practiced movements of a woman applying kohl to her eyelid, my hand found a needle on its own. Without hesitation, as if making a hole at the end of an ostrich egg soon to be embellished, I bravely, calmly, and firmly pressed the needle into the pupil of my right eye. My innards sank, not because I felt what I was doing, but because I saw what I was doing. I pushed the needle into my eye to the depth of a quarter of a length of a finger, then removed it. In the couplet worked into the frame of the mirror, the poet had wished the observer eternal beauty and wisdom, and eternal life to the mirror itself. Smiling, I did the same to my other eye. For a long while I didn't move. I stared at the world, at everything. As I surmised, the colors of the world did not darken, but seemed to bleed ever so gently into one another. I could still, more or less, see. The pale light of the sun fell over the red and oxblood cloth of the treasury. In the accustomed ceremony, the head treasurer and his men broke the seal and opened the lock and the door. Zami Aga changed the chamber pots, lamps, and brazier, brought in fresh bread and dry mulberries, and announced to the others that we would continue searching for the horses with oddly drawn nostrils within our Sultan's book. What could be more exquisite than looking at the world's most beautiful pictures while trying to recollect God's vision of the world? 오즈마 마스터는 아무래도 눈을 멀게 하는 게 자기가 알라의 시선에서 세상을 바라보는데 더 가까워지는 방법으로 생각을 하는 것 같은데요. 이 점은 챕터 52에서 아스맨과 블랙이 같이 하는 대화에서도 어느 정도 엿볼 수 있습니다. 아스맨은 블랙에게 그러한 화가들, 대가들의 이야기를 해줍니다. When the great masters of old were forced to adopt the style of victors and imitate their miniaturists, they preserved their honor by using a needle to heroically bring on the blindness the labors of painting would have caused in time. Yes, before the pureness of God's darkness fell over their eyes like a divine reward, they stare at a masterpiece ceaselessly for hours or even days. And because they stubbornly stare out of bowed heads, the meaning and the world of those pictures, spotted with blood dripping from their eyes, would take the place of all the evils they suffered, and as their eyes ever so slowly clouded over, they'd approach blindness in peace. Do you have any idea which illustration I want to stare at till I attain the divine blackness of the blind? 옛날에는 화가들이 자신들이 고수하던 전통과 상반되는 그림을 그리도 압박을 가할 때 눈을 일부러 멀게 한다고도 알려줍니다. 아스맨의 경우에 딱히 지금 뭐 강요되는 건 아니니까 정확히 이 사람이 눈을 멀게 한 이유는 그냥 이 책을 한 번 읽고서는 좀 이해하기가 좀 어렵긴 하더라고요. 네, 한 번 더 읽어봐야 될 수도 있고요. 이제 블랙도 눈을 멀게 하는 행위에 관심을 보이기 시작합니다. 하지만 블랙의 경우에는 뭐라고 해야 될까요? 바우스맨처럼 이런 거에 대한 동경보다는 조금 불편함, 꺼림칙함을 더 강하게 느끼게 됩니다. 그러다가 이제 블랙이 그런 것들을 모두 잊어버릴 만큼의 엄청난 발견을 하게 됩니다. Sometime in the afternoon, perhaps to forget my hopelessness, and thinking as I leafed through a disorderly album I chanced upon that I'd broach such questions to Master Osman, I was struck with the image of a horse in a picture of a bridal procession painted on cloth. My heart skipped a beat. There before me was a horse with peculiar nostrils carrying a coquettish bride. The beast was looking at me out of the picture. It was as though the magical horse were on the verge of whispering a secret to me. As if in a dream, I wanted to shout, but my voice was silent. 드디어 코가 이상한 말그림을 찾게 된 거죠. 근데 하필이면 말 그림이 bridal succession이에요. 이걸 보면 이제 도둑자로서 뭔가 이게 블랙의 아내가 된 셰크레를 다른 사람이 가져간 거다라는 걸 암시하는 게 아닐까라는 생각까지 들게 됩니다. 왜 그러냐? 이제 목적을 찾는 블랙은 결국 먼저 나가기로 합니다. 오스만은 그냥 놔두고. 그리고 이제 나갈 때요. 또 재밌는 게 바늘을 몰래 가져가요. 그 눈을 찔렀다. 대가들이 눈을 멀기 위해서 사용했던 바늘을. 그것까지는 왜 가져갔는지 책에서 찾아보시면 될 것 같고요. 그렇게 기쁜 마음으로 셰크의 집으로 향하는데 I opened the country yard gate. I'm not sure if it was from the squeak of the gate, the carefree way the sparrow drank water from the well bucket, or the darkness of the house, but with the wolf-like precision of a man who lived alone for 12 years, I understood at once that nobody was home. Even bitterly realizing that once been left to his own devices, one will still open and close all of the doors, the cabinets, and even lift the lids and pots, and that's just what I did. I even looked inside the chests. In silence, the only sound I heard was the thudding of my own racing heart. Like an old man who'd done everything he ever do, I felt consoled and I abruptly girded my sword, which I kept hidden at the bottom of the most out-of-the-way chest. It was this ivory-handled sword which always provided me with inner peace and balance during all those years I worked with her pen. Books which we mistake for consolation only add depth to our sorrow. I went down to the country yard. The sparrow had flown away, as if abandoning a sinking ship. I left the house to the silence of an impending darkness. My heart, now more confident, told me to run and find them. I ran, but I showed through crowded places and the moss country yards where dogs picked up my trail and joyously followed, anticipating some kind of amusement. 네, 집에 갔더니 셰크레와 아무도 더 없습니다. 이게 과연 어떻게 된 일일까요? 과연 핫산이 데려간 걸까요? 아니면 셰크레가 야반도주 같은 걸 한 걸까요? 그거는 다음 주 chapter 43, 그 chapter 54를 보면서 한번 알아보도록 하겠습니다. 오늘 늦은 시간까지 함께 해주셔서 감사드리고요. 저는 이만 마치겠습니다. 안녕히 계십시오.